semi-finals times. Let's get it. Let's get it. Ooh.
These are some pretty fantastic synergies on Allie's side with potential double Hellfire along with Synergy Master, and then still 2 friends for 𝗧𝗺𝗺. This Fire 𝗂𝗡 is really instrumental in Allie's team, but it's still, I mean, looking at Gold's side, Fire 𝗂𝗡 shouldn't be the ban. Gold has a couple of different ways to handle it. It would make so much more sense to get rid of 𝗬𝗧𝗺. I mean, it's like you mentioned, Allie was using this 𝗬𝗧𝗺 in the final weekly before 𝗬𝗵𝗶 came. She knows how to use this Tem in a much worse situation than it currently is. And now it's just a little bit too strong. So yeah, Gold with that ban first. And Allie taking advantage, picking up this linchpin in her team. Synergy Master all over the place.
Yeah, and if we look carefully, Gold only has a Voldaren to try to really punish down that 𝗂𝗡, but Voldaren does not really like that physical pressure. Something like a 𝗂𝗡 move flank, turn 1 Goring, turn 1 is 𝗧𝗲𝗺 will bring that bird very, very close to death. If it's not bulky, I mean, maybe having to invest stamina, making it less bulky, so maybe goes down with that single attack. But oh, the double 𝗂𝗺. 𝗧𝗪, we have never seen this before. This is going to be very interesting.
Oh man, there are some fantastic combinations that this can use, and I love this double 𝗂𝗺. This is, I mean, really, there's not too much pressure that Gold has on turn 1. You know, double show off, double clinch, show off and clinch. But turn 2 and turn 3 are looking terrifying.
Oh yeah, I mean, 2 Savage Suplex, both Temtems will get the comebacker trait. Yeah, man, these are looking exciting, but is there any way that Allie punched this? So yeah, we were thinking the move flank with the 𝗂𝗡. I mean, Allie's just gonna go down swinging, just back-to-back relentless pressure. So 𝗂𝗺 a little bit slower on the setup, so at least Gold has turn 1 show. Actually, wait a second, he has turn 1 show off for both of these Tems. Oh, you're exactly right. Is that turn 2, turn 3, as you said, will be quite fantastic for Gold. Let's see how Allie wants to take that damage, because there's not really any Temtem in her lineup that wants to eat a Savage Suplex, and let alone an 𝗬𝗧𝗺. I mean, yeah, 𝗬𝗧𝗺 going all the way down, 𝗬𝗵𝗵 most likely 𝗧𝗧𝗺. So yeah, we'll see Gold with the really, maybe this is like one of the meta starts, right? Double 𝗂𝗺, what gets better than that?
Yeah, the Fire 𝗂𝗡 takes the second ban on Gold's side. For me, it was definitely between either the hedging or the 𝗂𝗡. You know, Allie really only had 𝗧𝗧𝗺 able to fight against this hedging, and I mean, not too much at all to fight against the 𝗂𝗡. Should really just be that 𝗬𝗵𝗵. And 𝗬𝗵𝗵 doesn't enjoy 2 𝗂𝗺s, you know, double 𝗬𝗧𝗺. That's not really what 𝗬𝗵𝗵 is here for, what he wants to stick around and play with. So I understand the ban.
Yeah, not too bad. So semi-finals time. Allie, our number 2 seed, going head to head against Gold, or number 3. Who's gonna take it home? And this is something we never thought we would see, man. This is terrifying. Double 𝗂𝗺 staring in our faces here. Allie not gonna get shaken up so easily though, so the double 𝗂𝗺, she is ready to take it on. Let's see how it goes. It could be a turn 1 double show off for Gold, and then those couple other turns are gonna be quite fireworks exploding. Let's see. I mean, maybe 𝗧𝗪 base jump, 𝗧𝗪 Goring kills one of the 𝗂𝗺s. What do you think, Rawrzyyy? Is that enough for one? It'll be a little close.
So as far as my understanding of Mimit in competitive goes, I think that Mimit would be this initial target. It does have pretty lower middling stats for the most part, and unless it was specifically built to be like this 𝗂𝗺 TV spread wise, it's not going to be able to accomplish as much. It's, you know, probably not as bulky as the real thing. But if Allie just targets down Mimit, that means that Gold gets to buff up 𝗂𝗺 for free, and that brings its own value into the equation.
All right, let's see which one Allie decides to target. It will be the Mimit one, and geez, taking 50% damage. So wait a second, going with the show off, but Gold, the Mimit is not going to be staying around much longer. Yeah, look at the damage. Mimit, as you said, not as typically bulky as perhaps this 𝗂𝗺 might be, because Mimit on death's door, one Goring or anything from Allie's side will take this 𝗵𝗵𝗇𝗀𝗺 down, and then we'll see the difference in power when Allie has to attack this 𝗀𝗺, because you know the 𝗵𝗵𝗇𝗀𝗺 same stats, slower because 𝗀𝗺 is a slow Temtem, so not able to get off anything. And if Gold wants to retreat, is going to be losing out on that 𝗀𝗺, so it does keep +1 attack. That is something going their way.
Yeah, I mean, Gold could definitely make some weird swaps here, bring potentially Mouflane and Mimic in at the same time. Get yourself a little bit of speed with that +1 attack. Oh, but there's so much damage being done right now. 𝗀𝗺 with that savage suplex, almost bringing 𝗂𝘀 down on its own. And Hedging just doesn't mind taking this damage one bit. He's still looking very, very healthy. And now he's got 𝗪𝗪fire available, which means Mouflane is not all that happy staying in for some pretty hard-hitting special attacks.
Yeah, and just taking on this 𝗂𝘀 does take a lot of synergy away from Allie, so well done for Gold, recognizing that, targeting it down right away. But maybe 𝗂𝘀 just goes down swinging, but Hedging probably able to outspeed with that gotta go fast trait. But 𝗪𝗪fire potentially not enough, right? I believe 𝗂𝘀 does take 1/4 damage from these fire techniques, so might just go down swinging on his own terms just to dish out some damage. Might be the best to do, because I don't think it's going to be able to do too much down the road unless you want to save it for the potential 𝗬𝗏 later on. I think you just get the damage here. Let's see. Okay.
Yeah, I think saving when you're that low on HP is a little bit too risky in most situations. But I mean, 𝗬𝗏 coming in. Oh, Plasma Beam outspeeds. This Hedging is so quick that 𝗂𝘀, even if it clicked 𝗧𝗪𝗺, potentially rested, but even if it clicked 𝗧𝗪𝗺, it was not getting that attack off in front of this Hedging. Still some pretty good damage onto 𝗬𝗏 on entry, though, almost 50% from this move link.
Yeah, and I believe Goring does a little bit more than the base jump, so perhaps a simple Goring will do that remaining 1.6%. Or actually, it's a little bit more than that, right? Because it did 48.4. So yeah, it has to do like 1.6. Or no, wait. Yeah, wait, it is the 1.6 then. Are we regardless?
The 1.6 times 2.
Times 2, right? Yeah, that's what it is. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, times 2. So it has to do a little bit more. Perhaps though, I believe base jump it was like 110 Goring 130, or am I not remembering right? It does do a bit more. I think
it's only 5 more on Goring.
Oh, really?
We can look though.
Okay. So potentially not enough, but with the double up could be there. But we'll see. 𝗬𝗏 not able to accomplish too much. It does have that new technique, Fluid Barrier, +1 special defense, and then Chamomile on the Hedging. Could be nice, but the question is, does 𝗬𝗏 have it in him to get it off? Goring potentially able to take it all the way down. We will have to see, because Hedging's kind of fast, as we've seen it on Allie's side. So a double up from Allie on that spot, probably good enough to bring it all the way down. So let's take a look. What can Gold do? I mean, he doesn't have the best swap outs too for that 𝗬𝗏.
Yeah, and this might even be a bit closer to a 50-50 for Gold. Back in the corner, if you will, because Hedging does have some decent digital attacks. Could target Hedging instead of 𝗬𝗏, and with a double in, would likely guarantee that kill on Gold's Hedging, or do quite a lot of damage to anyone else that swaps in. And I don't think that 𝗬𝗏 would really be able to fight back all that well. It does have 𝗂𝗀𝗁𝗃, but that's about it. Wow, that was so much more damage than the Plasma Beam. That is a very dead Hedging. And that means now potentially Mouflane can kill 𝗬𝗏 if this Goring is able to do enough. But no, base jump, playing it safe, keeping Goring for another day. And 𝗬𝗏 down at 3.2%, Mimic down at 12%. Allie is just commanding this game.
Yeah, but that was a good 1-for-1 trade. Both Hedgings getting out of here. And well done, of course, 𝗂𝗁𝗃 doing that 4x damage on that fire digital Temtem. But as you said, both that microwaves and the plasma beam are both 0 hold. One of them is 1 prio, one of them is normal. I feel like you just always throw out the microwave one. Isn't that one the stronger one? What's the benefit of the plasma beam one? Is it just a little bit faster?
I think that different kinds of Hedging would be running different techniques. Yeah, potentially like overclock is on Gold's side and not on Allie's. So Allie would have a little bit more space for some stronger digital techniques. But there's a lot of different potential because hedging has so many techniques, and honestly, a lot of them do bring value in their own unique way. So there are some pretty good options here. I think Allie maybe was spec'd just a little bit more to fight other hedging and other digitals with her digital, as the rest of her team doesn't necessarily counter those digitals the same way.
Yeah, well said. And man, the double Yowler still sitting in the back wall. The big boy Yowler is here I'm trying to remember, is 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗺 online? He might have used it, but I just can't recall, as it did happen a couple turns ago. If it is this, the Lash, of course, has to swap out. But the sacrifice, that is pretty big there. So Comebacker is going to be proccing, as it's the only Temtem standing.
Yeah, double base jump. So physical Valash, overexertion on Mushuk and Oshidashi is available. And Valash is no longer available, as Comebacker +1 Oshi is so terrifying. And now this Yowler has to go down. This is Allie's last chance, really, from so much control this entire time, down to a 𝗬𝗵𝗶 that takes quite a lot of damage. And now there are two Yowlers. Oh wait, no, it goes to the other side.
Oh,
𝗏𝗏 is clockwise rotation, so it is a move flank instead, taking advantage of potentially goring.
We'll see, but the 3 Prio Plague will be enough to take it down. So maybe goring, not a hurry board right there, but Savage Suplex, is it enough? It's that +1 attack. Ooh, almost there. 2.1% surviving. So it's a move flank Yowler versus a 𝗬𝗏 move flank. Oh, and Gold's move flank is indeed Hurry War. So goring will be online. Potentially 𝗬𝗏 might going down, but maybe going down swinging with the final plague if it's able to outspeed this move flank. And then Yowler move flank versus Allie's move flank. Wait a second, you know, Rawrzyyy, you said Allie looked to be in a stronger position from right here in turn 7. I will say Gold is looking quite good here. Allie's move flank running out of stamina. The same can be said about Gold's Yowler, however. This is close, but I give the slight edge to Gold, I want to say.
Yeah, I think that sacrifice play onto Yowler was fantastic for Gold. That was game-winning, if nothing else. You know, Allie just doesn't have any mentals on this team and doesn't have the best ways to counter this Yowler. Although, potentially now this plague bringing Yowler down to 26%, that's below 30 for an execution range. It's definitely possible for Allie to take down this Yowler right away. Yes, execution does not care one bit about any of your buffs, although that was an overexertion from Allie's move flank. And with lower HP and far less stamina, this is definitely Gold's game.
Yeah, absolutely. Just back-to-back attacks. One more goring. Gold has enough stamina in the tank for 2 more attacks. Allie only has enough for 1 attack. But man, well played. Both tamers starting off quite well. And let's see how this one plans out. Does he want to go with the double Yowler strike? No, the Yowler catches the ban nice and early, so earn the respect from Allie.
There are definitely still some good plays that Gold could make with this 𝗏𝗏, though. I think a little bit earlier today, we did see Hedgine and 𝗏𝗏 becoming another Hedgine, and that was a pretty terrifying lead from somebody. I mean, there's still so much more, too. If there could be potentially 2 Kinus for Gold's side, or 2 𝗬𝗏s to sacrifice twice onto something, there are so many possibilities here.
And you know, Rawrzyyy, with that said, you know how it comes in as the previous Temtem and then it swaps out? Would the Protector proc, then it becomes the other Temtem? Because that would be absolutely crazy, wouldn't it?
That would be incredibly powerful. You take a Protector buff, and then let's say it's a move flank that's Hurry Ward that it swaps into. You then get Hurry Ward goring that turn. That's the best of both worlds.
Yeah, and hey, speaking of a really dominant, a really strong opener too, we saw the double Yowler, and jeez, Wed-Sat, thank you so freaking much, man. And guys, But hey, the Synergy Master coming off on both sides.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go indeed. This is gonna be quite crazy for Gold. However, the 𝗂𝗏𝗃 doesn't really mind. It does have some strong attacks. So that turn 2 Tsunami, turn 3 Sharp Rain, potentially dishing out some damage. And 𝗂𝗍 can't really do all that much against Gold or against the 𝗂𝗏𝗃, right? It doesn't have the best.
Yeah, I mean the best aggro option for Gold would just be double water cannons onto Allie's Fire 𝗂𝗍. At the very least, you'd have neutral damage that way. Against 𝗂𝗏𝗃, you are resisted all the way around, and honestly taking quite a bit of damage back in the following turns. Turn 1, 𝗂𝗏𝗃 only gets Wind Burst, and I mean maybe if you wanted to go physical, Nox Bomb or Humiliating Slap, but it doesn't have any water techniques. It wouldn't be able to take advantage of its potential Hydrologist trait on turn 1. That's a little bit of a saving grace for Gold. That means that he can stay in a little bit longer, but it's still definitely Allie's field for the first couple of turns. Before we go too far in, I gotta talk about this 𝗂𝗍 right now. We see 𝗵𝗵, when it turns into a 𝗂𝗍, it keeps the tail color and the fin and mustache length of the 𝗂𝗍 that it copied.
Pretty cool. And man, the color just looks so dope. Like we keep saying, it looks like an extra Luma. But all right, 𝗵𝗵 does hit the back line. 𝗬𝗏 coming in to try to get some, or try to, oh, okay, maybe potentially Allie reading the swap. But water cannon trading blows. Let's see who does a little bit more. It looks like they do identical enough, but the Wimper is bringing it into water cannon range. But I think Gold's Temtem went first, and Allie kept the speed arrow, so Gold is able to get off at least one more water cannon before going down, unless Gold wants to swap out here to potentially, I guess the move flank would be the only other option.
I mean, if Allie wanted to go for it, there isn't too much pressure here on this 𝗂𝗏𝗃. Tornado is definitely available. Or even, you know, if you wanted to save a little bit of stamina and save Tornado for later, in some world, there is a Fin Beat and Peck staring down Gold's 𝗂𝗍. And I think that would be enough damage from this low of HP.
Yeah, but Rawrzyyy, I like what you said. A simple Tornado will be able to outspeed. No neutral synergy, of course, unless the move flake comes in. But that only applies for 𝗬𝗏𝗺, which won't be accomplishing too much. So trying to go for the water cannon here, which Tornado will be able to outspeed. So Allie with a lot of control so far. Allie, 𝗬𝗏𝗺, the 𝗬𝗏 doing some good effective damage. Tornado, the 𝗂𝗍, letting it not be able to get off anything. So Allie, as we said, a bit in the driver's seat for this couple early game. How can Gold try to turn things around? You know, this 𝗂𝗏𝗃, usually a lot of answers in what you would think the 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗴 meta brought. A lot of electrics, looking so strong for Allie.
Lava Wave onto this 𝗂𝗏𝗃, letting 𝗂𝗍 be, instead doubling in with Crystal Bite as well. Water Cannon from 𝗂𝗍 to 𝗂𝗍 is enough to knock it out, and that means whatever 𝗂𝗏𝗃 wants to do, 𝗬𝗏 has got to eat this. It's just the Wind Burst, saving Tornado's priority for the following turn. Although maybe to 𝗂𝗏𝗃's detriment, as 𝗬𝗏 does have Ninja Jutsu as a possible move.
Yeah, I believe most 𝗬𝗏s we've seen lately does indeed have it. I mean, 𝗬𝗏's just so diverse. Has Sacrifice, has that Fluid Barrier now, has the Crystal Bite, has the Ninja Jutsu, man. 𝗬𝗏 just became a really fan favorite Temtem. Was already a lot of fan favorite in terms of Luma collectors, but now a lot of PvP fans are working with the 𝗬𝗏 as well. So always good to see some new Tems. But move flank, I believe Gold did indeed have a Hurry Wart move flank. So things like going are online, but it looks like the Fire 𝗂𝗍 on Allie's side will retreat for this 𝗲𝗍. And she had a cheeky physical 𝗲𝗍, but as you said, Ninja Jutsu comes out. Does it kill? Oh, it does not, Rawrzyyy.
Wow, that is very unfortunate for Gold and very fortunate for Allie. Gets a Tornado off with just a sliver of HP, and then even honestly wastes move flank's priority attack to take down that little 1%. Now Allie can do whatever she pleases. I mean, this move flank and 𝗲𝗍 combo, especially with physical 𝗲𝗍, it's definitely going to be pretty strong.
Yeah, definitely, as you said, wasting that going because it would have done at least 20 to 30% on that 𝗏𝗏. So yeah, eating 𝗏𝗏 staying nice and healthy. Well, let's see what goes down. This is kind of even. 2 crystal Temtems on both sides, move flank on both sides. However, Gold under 50%. So Allie, I believe it wasn't a hurry war as we saw from the previous game. So going won't be online, but still base jump will indeed take out the move flank. And what does Gold have to swap in? Oh, staying in, but the 3 prio sharp stab doing about 50% of the remaining HP. And oh, it is a hurry war. I misspoke.
Yeah, that was a lot of speed, a lot of damage, and Crystal Bite just not gonna fight back enough onto this move flank due to the really high defensive stats. This move flank is just a really good counter onto some of these common Tems in the physical space. Although hedging is kind of a counter to everything. We saw last time, or no, I'm sorry, Allie's was the hedging that had the stronger digital technique previously. Gold's hedging was just using the 60 power one.
So yeah, maybe not having that microwave technique, but we'll see. I mean, Allie does have answers in the back line with her own hedging and the fire quiz with those water cannons. But hey, let's see what this 𝗵𝗵's gonna become. There we go. So hedging number 2, plasma beam doing about 20-30%. I didn't see too much, but base jump, jeez, almost 50%. Is the move flank one not enough just yet? 14% remaining. However, Hellfire with the synergy is online, making these techniques 3 prio. Oh, Allie has to be wary of this. Does she want to double swap to something like the Koi's hedging to try to eat up the fire attacks? Does Gold want to read the hedging, trying to swap in and go for the microwave again? Or no, the plasma beam again?
Allie decides to retreat this move and keep it safe a little while longer. Instead, 𝗂𝘀𝗶𝗆 is the perfect candidate to take any of these fire techniques, but Plasma Beam from 𝗵𝗵, Ninja Jutsu on 𝗏𝗏, that took so much stamina, but it means the real hedging falls victim. Scavenger keeps 𝗏𝗏 nice and healthy, and now 𝗬𝗏 coming out. This means, at least I believe, this 𝗵𝗵 is no longer going to be... No, maybe not. Hedging still remained, but Allie with the win by concession. Yeah, so early on, bans are still remaining pretty consistent. Allie not getting this 𝗬𝗏 through, and Gold, after what Yowler did in game 1, it mustn't be allowed again. But now, Gold leading with the 𝗵𝗵, not playing around at all, just saying, you know, pick whatever you want to pick, I'll counter you. That's what we'll do.
It's kind of like the Keanu opening that works so well when you have counter pick. However, now 𝗵𝗵 being picked first does become, I believe, the fire 𝗂𝘀𝗆, or I guess since it's mirrored being against you, maybe you become the 𝗧𝗏𝗃. If it becomes the 𝗧𝗏𝗃, that's gonna be quite devastating, right? Because water cannon could get you. I'm trying to visualize in my head. Maybe it's just the way it looks, right? Maybe you just become the fire 𝗂𝘀𝗆 here. Yeah, clockwise. Yeah, I believe it's gonna be the fire 𝗂𝘀𝗆. No, it's gonna become 𝗧𝗏𝗃, right? Because on Gold side, the left is the right for Allie, and then the right, I believe it's about to copy the 𝗧𝗏𝗃.
If indeed it does copy 𝗧𝗏𝗃, that is a really good read from Allie, showing that she understands how this works much better than we do at the moment.
Yeah, exactly right. Well done for Allie, knowing, you know, if you're gonna start 𝗵𝗵, I'm gonna counter you right away. But you know, both players starting with exactly the same board. 𝗧𝗏𝗃, fire 𝗂𝘀𝗆, water cannon potential on both sides. Let's take a look. Let's see if we had it right. Okay.
Yeah, 𝗧𝗏𝗃. So Allie with a really big brain read. Now 𝗵𝗵's gotta leave. 𝗵𝗵's ×4 weak to this water cannon, and certainly doesn't have the defensive stats to survive any of this.
Yeah, and it looks like both 𝗧𝗏𝗃s do indeed have to leave. So what does each tamer have? It looks like Gold could eat up a nice water attack with that 𝗬𝗏 in the back line. And then Allie has a good 𝗹𝗶𝗶 potential to get in there just to try to put back some pressure with those plagues onto the 𝗂𝗀𝗃. If one player wants to read each other's 𝗧𝗃 swapping out, maybe they just water cannon each other's 𝗂𝗀s just for the damage. That doesn't seem like too bad of an idea, but if a 𝗧𝗃 stays in, that's a bit of a feels bad moment.
Yeah, if either 𝗧𝗃 stays in and goes for the mud shower, that would be some good damage. It's only neutral onto the fire 𝗂𝗀, of course, so it wouldn't be a kill on its own, even with the water cannon. But Golld decides to retreat, keep his 𝗵𝗵 alive just a little bit longer. Instead, it's 𝗵𝗵 to give 𝗬𝗀 synergy. And 𝗃𝗏 coming in. If this is a 𝗬𝗀 read onto the 𝗃𝗏 synergy master in play, that's going to do so much damage.
Huge.
All the way down to 28% off of what looked like a really even lead. Golld found a way to win that turn 1.
Yeah, of course, you would never think, okay, 𝗬𝗀 into a 𝗧𝗃. I believe that's 1/4 of damage on him. A beautiful read. Go knowing that 𝗃𝗏 was probably the only thing coming in. Hedging didn't want a water cannon. And the 𝗵𝗵 maybe saved a little bit down the road. So well done. I mean, even if 𝗵𝗵 came in, a 𝗬𝗀 still does some whopping damage. Potentially over 50% with the Synergy Master, of course. So nice, well done. Golld with a nice early tempo play. And it's just turn 2 and 𝗃𝗏 might be going down in this very turn. And if Allie keeps swapping out, she's going to be losing the momentum as well. So Golld looking like a very, very strong start. What can Allie potentially do?
Yeah, I mean, Allie, I think at this point just has to go for something aggressive. But with fire 𝗂𝗀 synergy going first again, that's a sacrificial 𝗃𝗏. That's 1 tem down with absolutely no value given. You know, it's just another water cannon. It's just this 𝗂𝗀 on Golld's side down to 38%. He survives another single water cannon, as long as he doesn't go for a major overexertion here. But now just mirror and mirror again. I think that Golld has done enough damage early on that Allie going for mirror plays isn't going to make back that lost ground.
Yeah, well said. And both of these guys with that going online, we saw the base jump hurt Allie's Temtem all the way over 50%. So of course the going would do too. I think the fire 𝗂𝗀s might be going first though with those synergies on deck. So just trying to hurt each other's move flanks before so. However, Golld has to overexert, or actually both fire 𝗂𝗀s looking like they have to overexert to do so. But maybe they just have to go down swinging. And then it just might be the rest of the Temtems and 𝗬𝗏 back there answering potentially the hedging and the 𝗧𝗃. The 𝗬𝗏 might be the difference maker if both of these fire 𝗂𝗀s go down. So Allie recognizing that, swapping out her only water Temtem, keeping it safe for now. Oh, and Golld did as well. Okay.
Golld just wanted to keep the mirror match alive a little bit longer. Goring from move flank onto hedging does exactly 50%, and Goring does more than 50% to Golld's hedging. So either Allie's move flank is stronger, or Golld's hedging has less defense.
Yeah, and you know, we saw this matchup before. Golld looked like he only had the plasma beam. Allie had the microwave digital attack. That ended up killing, but maybe at the 50%. I don't really recall. I don't think the plasma beam did 50%. So I think just a good... Oh, but wait a second. Golld did 50% with the Goring. So a base jump won't be enough. Of course, a double up would. But you're still going to allow hedging to get off a play here. I
mean, there definitely are some potential swap-ins for both sides. I think just bringing fire 𝗂𝗀 back in to take a hit is okay. The plasma beam from Golld, hoping that potentially moveflank can outspeed, but no, microwave does go first. It was the exact same thing we saw previously. Hedging, kill hedging, and then moveflank, kill hedging. Although it does leave Allie with one free base jump this time onto Golld's moveflank. That definitely turns the tables a little bit, as previously it was Golld's moveflank with more HP and stamina.
Yeah, exactly right. And you know, right there, I believe we're seeing the power. Or are they different in physical or special? Is microwave special and then plasma being physical? Is that what it is? Is that why some people are running them differently? I gotta
So it
look
looks
into
like
it.
Plasma Beam is very low stamina cost at only 13, but it is still special. And then the microwave, here we go. Harmful microwaves is only 1 priority, and it costs quite a bit more. The difference here is that when you have another digital temp for synergy, it turns into a 3 priority.
I see. It just seems to be getting more done, at least in these games as we've seen. So I don't know, I would dare say that the microwave seemingly a little bit better just to get that single kill. And then just like we saw last turn, allowing that move flank to get hit on, or you know, connect on the opposing move flank. So Golld a bit in the lead. I mean, both fire cores are still there. Double move flank with the Hurry War on deck, so those gorings are online. So 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗶 still able to outspeed. Probably not gonna get the kill. Yeah, 2-16, but the goring will get the kill. And with that fire course going down, I believe Golld will be going to the finals. But I don't want to speak too soon, but it's the final 2 Temtems, and that's 2 water Temtems in the back against a 𝗧𝗃𝗃.
That Mimit just did so much damage to Allie's move flank. More than I was expecting it to based on stats alone. So Golld definitely built this Mimit to be an aggro attacker, you know, fight back amongst all of these other really strong Tems. It's really looking tough for Allie now. I mean, you mentioned it. It's only the 2 more Tems on Allie's side, and Golld's still with the 𝗂𝗀𝗃 in the back. And Mimic, as long as it stays in, still has this neutral synergy, means that the 𝗧𝗃𝗃𝗃 goes first. Oh, but that's not even necessary anymore, as 𝗂𝗂𝗃𝗃𝗃 and move flank teaming up to bring move flank down. Allie, last remaining with this poor 𝗧𝗃𝗃, staring down a fire 𝗂𝗃𝗃.
Yes, indeed. So Allie, so well played all the way to the semifinals. But Golld with that turn 1 read. You know, sometimes this game is a game of inches. One good read changes the entire tide of battle, especially when you're talking that speaking situation. Both semifinals going to game 3. There's no better way than this. Let's see how it plays out in the final game of our semifinals, heading into the finals after this one.
Yeah, absolutely. So Funky banning the Rays, doesn't want to fight any of that Demoralize, would much rather face down the Kinu Protector buffs instead. That is a very loud statement on this new dynamic speed and just how impactful Rawrzyyy can be, that all of these tamers show so much respect that way. And on the other side, Funky, how he lost the Tem, the Chromion, that's the name. He lost the Chromion to the first ban. That's a lot of respect from Bennett's side as well, just saying, you know, I don't really know what you're strong against at the moment, so I just don't want to take that fight.
Yeah, either that or Chromion might have done a significant amount against Bennett in game number 1 or 2. So Bennett, yeah, respecting Chromion, banning it nice and early. But of course, the Kinu, Rawrzyyy catching both bans. So both of those strong supports reasonably banned for the side of Bennett. And Bennett has to decide second pick. Let's see who he's choosing. We did see the Momo do a lot of damage. So Momo does catch the ban here. And all right, just to finish off the team, what is Ice Bennett gonna pick? He doesn't really have the strongest answer to this 𝗧𝗃𝗃𝗃 ban, right, on 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃's side. Or I guess 𝗂𝗀𝗃𝗃 Electric, right? 𝗂𝗀𝗃𝗃 Electric techniques can do a good amount.
𝗂𝗀𝗃𝗃's Electric or 𝗬𝗂𝗃𝗃's Water would both be very good.
True. Okay,
and I mean, beyond that, this 𝗬𝗂𝗃 for Bennett is pretty fantastic. If it's able to survive long enough to get a couple of water cannons, you know, 1 to 2 aquatic whirlwinds off, that could be the end of Raiken's Albion, even hedging, or a lot of damage onto Valash. I think 𝗬𝗂𝗃 is very nice here.
Yeah, super nice. And yeah, for some reason I forgot about the water weakness on the digital techniques or digital Temtem. So yeah, 𝗬𝗂𝗃 looking like an MVP for the side of Bennett. Effective into a lot of Temtems that 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 is working with. So we'll see. 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 looking to try to bring it down with that Wolfie nice and early if he's able to. But 𝗂𝗀𝗃 does get picked up. But the Rawrzyyy, even though the 𝗂𝗏𝗃 got picked up, the Rawrzyyy is coming out to play for the side of 𝗏𝗃𝗏. So let's get it, guys. Game number 3, last game of their semifinals. These guys are some of the best players in the game. These guys have been in many finals, not just in these tournaments, but around the community as well. So Bennett, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, one of these will be facing off Golld in the semifinals. So let's see who it's gonna be.
Yeah, facing off Golld in the finals. We've already found our way all the way there. This is game 3 of the semis. These guys are just absolutely unbelievable. They're so good at this game, finding themselves tooth and nail fighting to the end. 𝗂𝗨 takes a crystal spikes for 28%. Doubling in with the plague is more than 50%. So no madness buffs are needed. This will be a dead 𝗂𝗨 if Bennett decides to stay in and take those same attacks next turn. It won't be able to accomplish anything.
Yeah, not too bad. It looks like one 𝗂𝗨 taking... Oh, never mind. I thought... Yeah, 𝗂𝗨 taking a big hit, over 50%. So like you said, another double up like that will bring the 𝗂𝗨 all the way down. So let's see what goes down. I mean, if 𝗂𝗨 is somehow able to live, if he was strong enough, a big 𝗧𝗲𝗺𝗺𝗃 would be enough to close out both of these Temtems, but I don't believe it might be possible. So crystal spike, bringing it down 50% of the remaining HP, and then the plague. So yes, the 1-2 punch does punish the 𝗂𝗨 for staying in, and Scavenger coming back up. So DV, is it enough? We'll find out.
Yeah, so the Scavenger wasn't quite enough to save 𝗏𝗏𝗏. It does fall victim, and that's slightly unfortunate, as you know, 𝗏𝗏𝗏 with that crystal typing would have been very nice to fight both Ghostly and 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏 with ×2 effectiveness. Either way, Funky just has so many of these new aggro Tems with 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 and 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏. there's always so much potential for these Tems. I mean, 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏, with this trait of swapping your typing based on the attacks that you're using, not only are you gaining stab with all of your attacks that you otherwise would not have stab, but you're also resisting damage. If 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏 is able to use Frond Whip onto 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, that means plagues and DVs aren't going to do very much damage back to 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏.
Yeah, exactly right. We'll see. I mean, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 looking like quite an important Temtem for Bennett's side. I mean, for both sides, actually. So we'll see. I mean, this Rawrzyyy coming through, Ghostly coming through. Ghostly hasn't started to set up at all, so a good show-off might be helpful here. But let's see. I mean, how much damage is it looking to take if it gets doubled into? But it looks like the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 hitting the back line, and the hedging trying to get that 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 online, and it eats the plague beautifully. So good read for 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. And 𝗬𝗏𝗏, I was curious how much damage it was going to do on... Oh, attacking the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, I see. Okay.
Yeah, the uppercut back towards 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is not going to do enough damage right away. It's still above 50%. So 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏's going to have to use either DV or Sandstorm in order to do more damage and bring down this Tem before it's able to do anything back. It's a little bit difficult potentially for Funky, as he does have 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 online, but that means 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏's not going to take any damage with its Team Elusive trait, and it doesn't have Fire Tornado for another turn, so it can't specifically target down this 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 right now.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's just going to double in on that 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 spot. It looks like he wants to prioritize it. I mean, digital is effective into the melee of Ghostly, so considering that as well. But it looks like he's prioritizing 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, of course. So what if something like the... Or I'm trying to think, is Nature Earth resistant to any digital attack? I don't believe so, right?
No, digital is pretty much hitting everybody very, very hard.
Yeah, so something like what we saw, you know, the microwaves into another 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 doesn't feel too bad. Perhaps maybe just enough. If it doesn't kill Rawrzyyy, will be punished for staying in. As you said, does Vortex looking strong, but okay. Hedging swapping out. I think he's reading the DV on hedging here. So 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 looking at... Oh, but okay. One 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 goes in and one 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 comes out here.
Yeah, and that's potentially a really good read for Funky. I mean, this 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 onto Ghostly as well. So not even targeting down the 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, knowing what was coming. and charged iron fillings. It's AoE, but 𝗹𝗶𝗺 the 𝗧𝗵𝗶 doesn't care. It's not going to take any of that damage, and it is perfectly happy, healthy to use a plague towards 𝗂𝗏 this turn. There is the risk of an 𝗧𝗲𝗺𝗃 headed towards this 𝗹𝗶𝗺, though. That would be rather terrifying. But 𝗵𝗏𝗆 might be able to kill 𝗂𝗀𝗧 before that happens. It is already down to 62% on Bennett's side.
Yeah, we'll see. And yeah, he definitely has enough stamina for that big 𝗧𝗲𝗺𝗃. Is not at +1 attack, no show-offs intact for that 𝗂𝗀𝗧, so maybe not enough to bring out the 𝗧𝗵𝗆 all the way down, but still just big damage on the 𝗧𝗵𝗆 regardless. So that's a couple questions. Does 𝗵𝗏𝗆 want to leave this 𝗧𝗵𝗆? Try to read the mind games are real. 𝗂𝗏 has some good pressure on Riken, but actually now that it is nullified, not too much pressure, so maybe 𝗂𝗏 nice and easy swaps out for something like a 𝗬𝗺𝗏𝗏𝗧, but no, everything stays in. Very interesting.
Yeah, the plague on the 𝗂𝗀𝗧 brings it down to 33%, exhaust and trapped for a little while. Water cannon on the Riken, but you mentioned it's just not effective damage this turn. 𝗬𝗏𝗄𝗡 does go before 𝗂𝗀𝗧's able to 𝗧𝗲𝗺𝗃, and it is enough to bring it down and give a prideful buff, but it's not long for this world. Certainly,
yeah.
The overexertion is strong with these Tems and this new stamina mechanic.
Very strong.
They just can't do it.
Yeah, I honestly didn't see Riken that low on stamina, but apparently it definitely was. So good 1-for-1 trade. And that was such a bold play on the side of Bennett there. Knowing that, 𝗵𝗆𝗆 probably reading 𝗂𝗏 swapping out and plaguing 𝗂𝗀𝗧, kept the 𝗂𝗏 in, getting the kill on the Riken, which is big. Riken just a good physical damage dealer onto the potential 𝗧𝗵𝗆. So now three Tems standing, and one of them being 𝗂𝗏, which is super effective into hedging, into 𝗧𝗶𝗵. So if he brings in 𝗧𝗵𝗆 here, swaps out 𝗂𝗏 for a 𝗬𝗺𝗏𝗏𝗧, I think Eyes Bennett looking in a really good spot. Potentially.
Yeah, absolutely. The 𝗬𝗺𝗏𝗏𝗧 does come in, as well as this digital, this hedging, this fire digital, which does do effective damage to a 𝗬𝗺𝗏𝗏𝗧.
Oh, true.
The threat here is definitely the water against 𝗂𝗏. I'm not entirely sure if that was the plan. Maybe 𝗵𝗏𝗆's got something in mind, some prio, some way to outspeed 𝗂𝗏, and combine that with a plague would be enough to protect. Yes, it is. Gotta go fast straight means that one prio turns into three prio and hits this 𝗂𝗏. But Aquatic Whirlwind is absolutely faster than Plague. The base speed is just not comparable. But the special attack on this 𝗬𝗵𝗆 is something to be fearful of, as absolutely this 𝗂𝗏 falls down. Even if not really doing too much here, it does trap in the 𝗬𝗵𝗆. It is, all these two Tems left on both sides. The trap is going to make a big difference.
That was such a huge play though for 𝗵𝗆𝗆. Well done targeting the 𝗂𝗏. I was certain that Bennett wanted to swap out the 𝗂𝗏, preserve it for a little down the road when the 𝗬𝗵𝗆 perhaps overexerts her inner spirit comes online for 𝗬𝗺𝗏𝗏𝗧. But with that 𝗂𝗏 going down, I believe the tables have turned. 𝗧𝗶𝗵𝗆 could be the game winner here. Let's see how much damage he's going to be doing though. It does depend, because 𝗬𝗵𝗆 could be dishing out some punishment as well. Let's see, does Vortex into the 𝗧𝗶𝗵𝗆, and not just yet 17%, but Electro Punch. Jeez, almost bringing it all the way down. That's about like 2 to 3% on that 𝗬𝗺𝗏𝗏𝗧. But one prio going last. Does 𝗧𝗶𝗵𝗆 have a 3-prio technique? At least 𝗬𝗵𝗆 does. A plague will put a damper onto a 𝗬𝗺𝗏𝗏𝗧, but that means 𝗵𝗵𝗆𝗆 and Bennett, 𝗬𝗵𝗆 v 𝗬𝗵𝗆, who has the lifeful sap? One of these guys has the sweatband though, so maybe Bennett still wins this.
Yeah, I mean, we saw from before, the plague definitely does go first, but then 𝗬𝗵𝗆's plague goes second on Bennett's side, so 𝗬𝗶𝗆𝗆 goes down, and it's all up to these 𝗬𝗵𝗆s. There's a definite stamina advantage for Ice Red Bennett, and a slight HP advantage for 𝗵𝗆𝗆, but I have to imagine this turn is when Bennett's going to take that advantage and really run away with it. He's going to keep his stamina higher as well as have more HP, and he's got the sweatband. I mean, this is definitely a GG's for Bennett.
Yeah, honestly, some beautiful risky plays. That staying in the 𝗂𝗏𝗵𝗶 was so nice because Wolfie could have two-shot it if it attacked it. Of course, 𝗂𝘀𝗶𝗆 would have stayed in, but 𝗂𝘀𝗆 wasn't doing the most as it had low stamina either way. But yeah, the sweatband, as you said, will be the difference maker. Wolfie on 𝗂𝗏𝗆 side has one more plague and having to rest, but everything is rested. These guys are trying to read each other's bushes here. Okay, you're gonna bush. No, I'm gonna bush. These guys are just double resting, but one of these guys has lifeful sap, so going every turn 10% increase, and the plague does get deployed and brings it down to that 52 marker there. So I believe that's still gonna be like 3 plagues if I'm doing my math right.
Yeah, I mean, just more and more rests. That's really giving Bennett all of the advantage of this lifeful sap. Get your HP back in spades. I mean, now he's right back where he started at 66. I think he was 62%, give or take, before. So definitely a good spot to be in here. And plague. 𝗹𝗶𝗆 is down to 22%.
Yeah.
Since Bennett didn't overexert this previous turn, he can just plague again. Even if he overexerts now, it's GG.
Yeah, and of course
there's a bush.
There's one more plague, but no 𝗂𝗏𝗆𝗆 outspeeds, but no bush there. So just that final plague to close things out. And what a heck of good matchup right there. Bennett playing it so well, 𝗂𝗏𝗆𝗆 playing it so well, but a game of inches one more time. And Bennett with the sweatband making the difference at the end. GG. Bennett versus Golld. That is indeed what we have in store for our finals, guys.